Hello friends. Today we will talk about the 2009 film Cartagena. The events of the film take place in Colombia. The main character, a man named Leo, struggles with alcoholism and often gets drunk. One day, he ends up in a luxurious house where he is met by a caregiver named Lucia. She leads him to the lady of the house, a wealthy and demanding French woman named Muriel. The woman, who is bedridden, is looking for another caregiver who speaks French. Muriel immediately warns that this job is difficult and demanding. She asks Leo if he has any experience caring for sick people or at least children. The man honestly admits that he has no experience but desperately needs a job. Despite this, Muriel decides to give him a chance. Leo drinks at every opportunity, while Muriel constantly calls him for various tasks. Despite her condition, she maintains a sense of dignity. Due to complete paralysis, Muriel cannot move her hands and has to use a special stick to read books. She gives Leo his first task, to prepare dinner by 8 o'clock. Lucia finds it strange that Muriel hired a man. Before him, 40 caregivers had worked there, all of them women. She believes that a man should not see a woman in such a state. However, Leo cannot afford to lose this job. In the middle of the night, Lucia wakes him up to teach him how to change a diaper and perform percussion therapy. Leo is not thrilled about the duties he will have to perform daily. Muriel pretends to be asleep because she feels very embarrassed. The next morning, she shouts throughout the house because Leo did not wake up on time due to a hangover. His duties include feeding Muriel, assisting with hygiene procedures, and keeping the house in order. She likes to have the window open because fresh air makes her feel a little freer. After lunch, Muriel asks Leo to bring her phone, but he discovers that the number is incorrect. In the evening, Lucia checks whether Leo has completed his tasks properly. Later, while helping her hang laundry, Leo learns about Muriel's past. 3 years ago, she was in a car accident on her way to France, where she was supposed to meet her fiancé. The driver died, and after coming out of a coma, she learned that she was paralyzed. She chose not to return to France because she didn't want her family to see her in such a condition. Her fiancé cut off all contact with her. After work, Leo gets drunk again, but even alcohol does not help him escape his gloomy thoughts. Lucia notices that he has stayed. As most caregivers leave after the first few days, Leo bluntly states that it's only about the money. The next day, Lucia gives Leo a shopping list, and he goes to the market. There, a woman tries to steal from him, but he notices in time and prevents the theft. Upon returning, he hears laughter in the house. Muriel's physiotherapist has come to visit. The doctor tries to lift her spirits. Leo also notices Lucia injecting herself. She catches his gaze and explains that it helps her cope with life. In the evening, Muriel is unhappy with the dinner Leo has prepared. Fish, as even the smallest bone could be dangerous for her. He assures her that he has removed all the bones. After some hesitation, Muriel decides to trust him, and to her surprise, the fish is indeed boneless. Lucia continues to tell Leo about Muriel. She used to be a strong and independent woman, but after the accident, everything changed. She doesn't even go outside because she is afraid of the wheelchair. Leo wonders why Lucia, who has a degree in education, works as a caregiver, but she does not want to talk about it. After work, Leo returns to his rundown apartment where he lives alone. He gets drunk again and misses a work day. The next day, he tries to justify himself to Muriel. Muriel immediately realizes that it's not an illness but a hangover. She simply says that if it happens even one more time, he will be fired. After this, Lucia hands Leo an envelope with his first salary, as well as a headache pill, advising him to see a doctor. However, Leo responds that he will manage on his own. Now that he has money, he can afford a new pair of shoes. He heads to a boxing gym to reminisce about his past. It turns out that Leo was once a European boxing champion. He punches the heavy bag, but it's clear that he has lost his form over the years. One day, Lucia reveals that 25 years ago, she dreamed of becoming an artist, studied at a Parisian art school, but her plans were ruined by marriage. Unlike Muriel, Leo does not read books. He admits that he never understands what he reads. Muriel cannot believe it and asks Leo to read something aloud. He fulfills her request, but does not grasp the meaning. Muriel then decides that from now on, Leo will read aloud to her every day. Leo continues to visit the boxing gym. One day, the coach tells him that they are preparing for a fight in Cartagena. He believes that his student, Miranda, could become the new champion, and if Leo agreed to train her, their chances of winning would increase. This could bring them a lot of money and fame in women's boxing. The second contender for victory is Lena. Leo immediately recognizes her. It's the same woman who tried to rob him at the market. He offers her a sparring match and wins, after which they consider their debt settled. Lucia confesses to Muriel that Leo recently caught her doing something forbidden. Muriel does not see this as a threat, since Leo does not seem like a gossip. He continues to care for her, and it is becoming easier for him. One day, Muriel asks him what he used to do before. Leo reluctantly admits that he was an athlete. That evening, Leo smokes a lot, and the next day he suggests taking Muriel for a walk. She categorically refuses, fearing that his trembling hands might drop her. Leo insists that everything will be fine. In the end, Muriel agrees to the adventure. They have cocktails, and she hasn't felt this happy in a long time. Leo prepares a surprise for her. He asks her to close her eyes and brings bottles of essential oils to her nose, inviting her to guess the scents. Muriel enjoys this very much and sincerely thanks Leo for a wonderful evening. Later, Leo meets with his friend again and informs him that he agrees to train Lena. His friend in turn will train Miranda. They make a $5,000 bet. That same day, Leo asks Miranda if she knows where Lena lives since she hasn't shown up at the gym for several days. The girl replies that Lena has no home. Leo continues reading aloud to Muriel. Now she constantly asks him to take her outside for walks. These are her happiest moments. During one of their walks, she meets an acquaintance who sells books, while Leo waits for her on a bench. He watches her closely when suddenly he sees Lena in the company of a man. He immediately realizes that she is with him for money. Leo and Muriel learn more and more about each other. One day she asks him if he has a girlfriend. Leo replies that he doesn't. Later she asks Lucia what he does in his free time. Lucia responds that she often sees him drunk. Today, Leo met with Lena and asked why she had stopped coming to training. The girl replied that boxing couldn't feed her. Leo tried to convince her otherwise. He explained that if she agreed to train under his guidance, she could achieve fame, money, and put an end to her homeless life. He also told her about his bet with the coach. If they won, Lena would get half of the prize money. In the end, she agreed to continue training since, at that moment, she didn't even have money for food. Muriel lost her appetite. She kept thinking about Leo, unaware that he was out having fun with Lena at a bar. While dancing, Lena accidentally hit a blonde woman, and she and Leo had to flee the bar. At one point, Lena stopped because she needed to use the restroom. Meanwhile, a group of men caught up with Leo to get revenge for the girl. They attacked him and demanded to know where his reckless companion was. Lena came to Leo's aid, revealing that she had a gun. Leo was in very bad shape and couldn't go to work the next day. He asked Lena for a favor. In the morning, the doorbell rang at the mansion. Muriel was eagerly waiting for Leo, but instead of him, Lucia saw Lena at the door, who said Leo wouldn't be coming today. Lena introduced herself as his neighbor, but Lucia immediately suspected there was something between them. She lied to Muriel, saying that some guy had asked her to pass along the message that Leo wouldn't be coming. Muriel thought that Leo would never return, that he simply didn't have the courage to tell her to her face. All day, Muriel tried to distract herself from sad thoughts, but she couldn't. Leo had brought meaning into her life, and now perhaps it was all over. Meanwhile, Lena continued living at Leo's place while he was still recovering from the fight. Different caregivers came for interviews with Muriel, but she didn't even listen to them. Her thoughts were elsewhere. At that moment, Leo appeared with bruises on his face. Muriel was angry at him and didn't hide it. Leo promised that it wouldn't happen again, but Muriel told him he was fired. That evening, Leo was about to get drunk, as he had lost his job, but at the last moment, he changed his mind and gave the bottle to a homeless man instead. Lena asked Leo if she could stay at his place, and he didn't object. From then on, Leo started training her for the upcoming championship. Muriel couldn't stop thinking about Leo. That evening, Lucia brought her tea, but she was in very bad shape herself. Muriel said she wanted to try it too, because she was tired of this life. But Lucia refused to fulfill her request. She truly cared for her. Lena directly asked Leo if he found her attractive as a woman. Leo honestly answered no. Lena thought they could get married and go to Europe together, but Leo clearly had other thoughts. He couldn't get rid of his destructive habit. The next morning, when Muriel opened her eyes, she was surprised to see Leo beside her. Lucia was just as shocked. Muriel didn't want to wake him. When Leo woke up, he was confused, not remembering how he had ended up there. He asked Muriel to take him back to work, but she wasn't ready to trust him again. Leo promised to change and quit drinking. Muriel started crying, admitting that she had missed him, but it hurt her to think that she was an incomplete woman. In the end, she gave Leo one last chance. Lucia warned him that if he hurt Muriel again, he would regret it. Leo resumed taking Muriel out for walks. They spent a lot of time in nature, enjoying each other's company. For Muriel, these moments were the most precious. No one had ever done anything like this for her before. Meanwhile, Leo continued training Lena, who was making significant progress. Muriel worried that the men from the ring might harm Leo, but he assured her that everything would be fine. Later, Leo told Lucia that he wouldn't be able to work for the next 2 days because of training. He also told her about Lena, a young and promising boxer. Muriel still didn't know that Leo was training a woman, and Lucia didn't dare to tell her the truth. Muriel asked her caretaker to buy Leo a gift, a shirt the color of the sun. Leo loved the present. Soon the competition took place. Watching the fight, Leo remembered his younger days. In the end, Lena won, which meant the coach owed Leo $5,000. His friend kept his part of the deal, but Leo asked him to give the money to Lena because she had earned it. Borrowing a fancy car from his friend, Leo took Muriel for a drive. She hadn't traveled so far from home in a long time. Moments like these reminded her that there was still something good left in life. Leo carried his beloved along the seashore, and it felt as if they were the only 2 people in the world. They swam in the sea, feeling absolute freedom. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe so you don't miss any new content, and let me know in the comments what you liked the most. See you next time.